here's a tip for you guys. The knife is surface ground already. We put the holes on it. We put the actually marking for the center line on it. So now you want to start doing it. I personally, I was doing it with actually a platen. You're putting it over here, and some of these actually platens, they can tilt like this one. You can tilt it to 90 to certain degrees. It can come down, or you can go upward. So you can use it any way you want. I started getting comfortable with freehanding, and I always wanted it to do that. And the reason was that because if I can do the freehand over here, when I go to any machine, I can use the freehand. And my goal was that one originally, and I'm still doing it. And another thing, later on when I use the file guide, you will see you definitely need to have it. Sometimes people, traditionally from the get-go, I see it, people they're using technically platen here, and they're using it actually a push stick, which I always, sometimes they may using it to do the push stick to get it, and it can have a better view of your plunge lines and everything to want to do it, and it's much more precise. If you're comfortable, that's the way. If you're not, do your own way, but you have to try it, and if you find a way that is comfortable for you, you have to keep sticking to that one. Don't just jump from one side to the other side. So another thing about the plunge lines, I put normally 2 plunge lines on my blade. One is the final one, and one is the initial that I'm starting with. So you'll see as I started to grinding initially, I go with the initial one, and then later on when I want to change my plunge angle, that's where I go to the final one and I use the file guide. But let's see how we're going to do it. One more thing. Right now for the start, I use a used 36 grit. That's definitely important. Right now I'm going to go at the 90 degree, and if you have a brand new one, it's going to remove the whole entire grit from your belt, and it's going to ruin the belt. Do not do that. I know some people, they just said it, I have a brand new belt and I'm going to go start a beveling, and that's not good. You definitely need to have a used one. When you want to do your plunge lines, you need to make sure that you have the even pressure all across your blade, technically your bevel. If you want to make the good bevel, you have to have an even pressure. And normally, where we have actually a problem, I find out about myself that initial pressure that I'm putting it in is not enough. So therefore, what I do is that maybe I go a little bit lower pressure, but much more time. And then as I go forward, I pass it faster. So I start slow so I can get rid of as much as I can from my bevel line and the plunge line over here. And then as I go forward, I go faster, because over here you can remove fast, and over here it may take some time. So that's why it's really important that you start slow and then fast pass at the end. I did just the initial grinding. This is not my final plunge line over here. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to put my file guile, and then I'm going to change the grit from 36 to a brand new 80 grit. So you can go 60, you can do the other, but this is pre-heat treatment. So I just want to get rid of the material. It doesn't matter what grit frequency you got to go through, but it's just, you want to get rid of the material, keep it clean, do the heat treatment, then we're going to go for the rest. But right now, I'm going to put the file guide on this.